You know, in an age where literally everything is instant, there's this weird paradox right at the heart of our financial lives. We live in this hyper-digital world, but when it comes to our money, it often feels like it's stuck in the analog era. Okay, let's dive into this because all of that is about to change. And fast.
I mean, you've probably felt this frustration, right? You can stream a movie from halfway across the globe in perfect 4K, but sending money to a friend or getting paid for a job can somehow take days. So why the disconnect? Well, the answer lies in the really, really old plumbing of our financial system.
See, for decades, we've been running on these old systems like the Automated Clearinghouse, or ACH. They've been the workhorses of the financial world for sure. But here's the thing. They were built for a different time. ACH is a batch processing system. That means it just bundles up a bunch of transactions and processes them at specific times during the day. That's why it can take 1, 2, even 3 business days for money to actually land in an account. But now, a revolution is here. Instant payments. These are systems built for right now, settling transactions in under 10 seconds, 24/7, 365 days a year.
Now, this isn't just a handful of tech-savvy banks deciding to upgrade their apps. No. This is a massive, coordinated global overhaul. The frustration with slow, expensive, and frankly confusing cross-border payments got so bad that the world's biggest economies basically said, okay, enough is enough, we have to fix this. So, back in 2020, the G20, that's the group of the world's largest economies, they endorsed this super ambitious roadmap with clear targets set for 2027. The goals sound simple, but they are incredibly hard to pull off. Make payments faster, ideally within the hour, make them way cheaper, make them more transparent so you actually know what fees you're paying up front, and make them more accessible to everybody on the planet.
So how are they going to do all this? Well, the whole effort is organized around 3 huge priority areas. The first is about the payment systems themselves, getting them to actually talk to each other. The second is about the rules, getting all the legal and regulatory stuff to line up across borders. And the third, which is the foundation for everything else, is about data. It's about creating a common language for money to speak. Okay, so let's talk about that foundation. How do you get all these different systems in different countries, run by different banks, to actually talk to each other? Well, before you can build super fast financial highways, you have to make sure all the cars on the road can communicate. You need a new universal language.
And that new language is called ISO 2022. The best way to think about this is not as some boring technical update, but as a global Rosetta Stone for payments. It's a messaging standard that lets a massive amount of rich, structured data travel with a payment, way more than just who sent it, who's getting it, and how much it is. To really get why this is such a huge deal, you got to look at what we're replacing. The old system used these things called MT messages, developed way back in the 70s. They're basically like financial text messages, short, unstructured, and really prone to errors and delays. The new ISO 2222 format, called MX, is more like a financial smart document. The data is perfectly structured, so now a business payment can include the invoice number, the tax info, shipping details, all right inside the transaction itself. That's an absolute game changer for businesses.
And once you have this better data, it creates this awesome ripple effect. First, it means way more efficient processing, because computers can read everything perfectly, no human intervention needed. Second, it allows for much better security. We're talking seriously improved fraud detection and anti-money laundering controls. And finally, and this might be the most exciting part, it creates a platform for innovation, paving the way for new services we haven't even dreamed of yet.
Okay, so we've got the new, richer language. Now, countries and regions all over the world are busy building the brand new superhighways to carry these messages at incredible speeds.
And right here in the United States, the Federal Reserve itself has stepped in to build a huge piece of this public infrastructure for instant payments. It's called the FedNow service, and it officially went live in July of 2023.
And if you want to see just how quickly this is gaining steam, you just have to look at the transaction limits. It launched with a pretty modest cap of $25,000. Within a year, that shot up to $500,000. And by late 2025, it's projected to be a staggering $10 million per transaction. This isn't just an increase, it's a massive vote of confidence opening the door for all kinds of huge business payments.
But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. As the Fed's own payments chief points out, a network is only as strong as its reach. The goal is to get every single one of the thousands of banks in the US connected. But a major hurdle right now is that FedNow doesn't connect with RTP, which is the other big private sector instant payment network. So you've got this fragmented system that still needs to be solved.
All right, now let's hop across the Atlantic, because Europe is taking a different, and you could argue an even more ambitious approach. They're not just building new infrastructure, they're forcing everyone to use it through regulation.
Europe's new instant payments regulation is a landmark move. It basically says that any bank that offers a standard bank transfer must also offer an instant one. And the rules are strict. Money has to settle in 10 seconds, any time of day, any day of the year. It also rolls out this incredibly powerful anti-fraud tool called verification of payee, which makes the bank check that the recipient's name and account number actually match before the money is sent. It's a simple idea that could stop a ton of fraud. But Europe's vision doesn't stop with just faster private bank payments. They're looking at the bigger picture and asking a really fundamental question. As we use physical cash less and less, what is the role of public money in a totally digital world? And their answer, for now, is the digital euro. So, the digital euro project is all about making sure that public money keeps up with all the private innovation happening. The idea is to create a digital form of central bank money that's available to everyone. And it's designed to complement cash, not replace it. The goal is to always have a public, super resilient, and universally accepted payment option. It's also a pretty strategic move to make sure Europe's entire payment system isn't completely dependent on non-European companies.
Okay, so we've been talking about global roadmaps, messaging standards, central bank projects, all this high-level stuff. But what does this great payments upgrade actually mean for you, for your business, for your wallet?
The benefits here are super real, and you're gonna feel them. Imagine you're a freelancer. You finish a project, send an invoice, and boom! The money's in your account and available to use seconds later. Not days later, seconds. For a small business, this is total revolution for managing cash flow. For you, it means splitting a dinner bill with friends and the money is settled before you've even left the table. Plus, security features will cut down on fraud, transparency means fewer surprise fees, and the whole thing just builds a foundation for a new wave of financial apps that will change how we use our money. So when you boil it all down, what's happening is this. After decades of relying on this old, creaky infrastructure, the world is in the middle of a once-in-a-generation project to rebuild its financial plumbing from the ground up. It's complicated, it's a multi-year effort, but it is absolutely happening right now. This massive upgrade is laying the groundwork for a future where money moves as freely and as quickly as an email. But it also leaves us with one last, fascinating question. As our money becomes truly digital, instant, intelligent, and even programmable, will it finally become as seamless and as borderless as information itself? The next few years are going to give us the answer.